Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto begin their all-out war as the Avengers move to stop Fisk from using the Purple Man to gain control of the entire city, but Doc Ock and his multiversal counterparts have other plans for the mayor's seat. Chip Zdarsky continues his awesome Devil's Reign series with a pretty big reveal issue here, pitting the gathered Avengers against the Superior Four in a big flashy battle. While the book could easily fall into the trap Civil War and its sequel fell into, which is just a series of cool looking battles with heroes fighting heroes and whatnot, Devil's Reign doesn't do that, and it's all thanks to Chip's sharp writing and continuing his awesome Daredevil story here, just on a slightly larger scale. I really enjoyed he kept all of the stuff from his Daredevil writing, with Daredevil wanting to do anything and everything to stop Fisk, as long as it's within the law, but upon learning that Kilgrave is involved and Fisk is literally abusing the people he is representing, all of that goes out the window and he just wants to get rid of Fisk by any means necessary, and it leads to some really great infighting amongst the heroes, with people like She-Hulk even agreeing with what Fisk is doing, while others want to use the more legitimate means of Luke Cage and his running, while Daredevil wants to just go and trap him on an island. It's quite interesting to see all these heroes having to battle each other as well as Fisk. It also leads to a great and pretty huge reveal that the Tony Stark we've been seeing in this book isn't actually Tony Stark, but it's Chameleon, and it was all part of Doc Ock's plan to usurp Fisk and install his own puppet government, but it was ruined by the heroes choosing Luke over Tony. I'm really looking forward to what Ock will do now that his plans are ruined and what he has planned for the heroes. Marco Checchetto continues to produce just some incredible looking artwork for the book, giving all of the pages a dark, sinister look fitting for this type of story, while also not forgetting to throw in some awesome looking action sequences. Devil's Reign issue 3 was a twist-filled mid-series issue that added even more intrigue into the story, giving us some great character drama from Daredevil and the other heroes fighting each other, as well as some great cliffhangers that has me clamoring for the next issue. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Devil's Reign issue 3 finds the unmasked Ben Reilly interrogated by the cops, but he won't give up anything. One of the cops is fine with that, not caring for the hero's rights and thinking he doesn't have a real name and he's just some loser who does the superheroing all the time. Ben refuses to give him anything, continuing to goad the man with his humor as one of the cops is alerted to the Thing and the Human Torch arriving in the building. Ben tells the cops that he knows the bunch of cops there don't want to side with the mayor, but he knows they have a job to do and he and Johnny are there to do what is right. Johnny melts away the door as Ben smashes through the wall, demanding they be allowed to take Spider-Man. Once outside, Ben really wants to go to the hospital, but Thing and Johnny say they'll need to patch him up themselves since everyone is on the run and it's like they are all criminals. Johnny knows that most of them are like that, as the next day, Luke Cage holds a rally for his run for mayor. Luke tells the people he cannot stand by while his city and friends are harassed by Fisk, who is trying to keep them all in fear. Luke promises to save the city from Kingpin as the crowd shouts questions at him. Foggy takes over, happy to answer any questions on Luke's behalf as he goes to meet with Jessica, telling her this is very nerve-wracking. Jessica is nervous as well since this is a problem they can't punch their way out of. Luke wants to get away from all of the reporters with his wife, so Jessica flies them out of the area as Foggy tells the crowd that Cage is fighting for the rights of everyone affected by Fisk's wild municipal overstepping. He reassures the people that he'll also be representing all of the heroes that Fisk is going after and they won't rest until everything has been rectified and Fisk is back behind bars. At the Myrmidon, Sue Storm is met by Kristen McDuffie, who tells her of her new assault charge thanks to her and Reed's fight in the jail earlier. The lawyer says that it's just a vendetta and getting Fisk out of the mayor's seat will go a long way to overturn Sue and Reed's jail time, but people around America think that superheroes and supervillains are just a New York problem, and undoing these laws will push them out into their backyards and away from New York. Sue knows that if that happens, that would lead to federal law, which isn't good. Soon their time is up, but Sue is okay with it, having pocketed a paperclip from one of the files Kristen brought. Elsewhere, Kilgrave thinks that Wilson's plan to use his powers to brainwash voters is a little small-minded, but Fisk knows that it's beyond the election, and this is a new day for men like him getting the freedom to rule their way. Kilgrave thinks that this is about his Achilles heel and all about Daredevil. Wilson compares Daredevil to a tick who is burrowed in very deep, but there is something else and he's done something to him, and he knew who Daredevil was, but now he doesn't. Kilgrave knows all about the fog he feels since he feels it as well, as if his own powers were used against him. Wilson thinks that Kilgrave did this to him, but the man knows that it was a diluted version of his power, one owned by his children. Fisk leaves, calling Doc Ock and telling him of Kilgrave's children, wanting them gathered so they can amplify Kilgrave's power in the Psycho Prism. Ock knows that would work, but he isn't going to go round up children for Fisk since their deal is done. He is willing to update the prism once they have the children. Wilson begrudgingly accepts, hoping whatever he's up to is worth it. Ock hangs up the call as his multiversal doubles ask if there is a problem, but Otto knows there isn't. But Fisk is obsessed, and that offers the perfect distraction they need. Wolverine asks if they are going to see some action, but Otto reassures his other half they will soon, and he brought them all there because they share a dream, knowing in their worlds they were hunted and attacked and lost everything, but together they can be superior. At Avengers Mansion, the team talk about what to do, knowing Captain Marvel and Thor wouldn't be any help here even if they were there. Miles wants to think about how to legitimately beat Fisk, as Daredevil knows they need physical power to stave off being taken in, and for legal power they have Luke in his campaign. Luke however knows the first polls aren't looking good since Fisk has scared the people very well and they're still voting for him. Jessica knows that it doesn't surprise her since if all of the people voted for Fisk once, why not again? She-Hulk does think Fisk has some good points, and his Zero Tolerance Act will push villains into hiding and remove them as targets. Daredevil can't believe that Jessica is agreeing with Fisk, and as they argue, Jessica realizes that this is the Purple Man's doing. She tells the heroes that she can feel his subtle touch, and Fisk is using his powers to influence people to vote for him. Daredevil knows it's now not about legality or democracy anymore since Fisk is violating an entire city and they need to take him down by any means necessary. Captain America says they need to be certain about this, but Matt knows, knowing who Fisk is and what he's doing, so he will remove him from office tonight with or without Steve. Elsewhere, the Purple Children hide out from the Thunderbolt soldiers, feeling their father is coming for them, so they need to get to him before that happens. Soon an old lady comes by asking if they need help, but before one of them can use their powers, Job asks for the woman's help, asking for a place to stay. The woman is more than happy to look after them, leading them to her home, as Job tells the others that he didn't use his powers because the woman asked if they needed help, and they do, and they spend so much time forcing people to do things for them with their powers that they should embrace when people genuinely want to help. The others don't like it, and they can't leave this to chance, especially when they're on their way to kill their father. The Avengers meanwhile arrive on the roof of City Hall, taking down one of the guards. Cap asks what happens once they get Fisk, so She-Hulk suggests they hold him until they get evidence of the Purple Man's involvement, but Daredevil knows that doesn't work. They'll just dump him on a desert island where he can't hurt anyone. Miles knows they can't just disappear a sitting mayor despite what he has done, but Matt reminds him that they are criminals and their entire vigilante situation is that sometimes they need to go places where others can't. Suddenly they are attacked by the Superior Four, who are happy to get to kill these heroes all over again. Ghost Rider comes for Iron Man, calling him a true sinner as he burns Tony's armor, cracking it apart. Hulk takes down She-Hulk as Doc Ock confronts Cap and Daredevil, telling them that he too was planning to see the mayor and wasn't expecting company. Miles tries to web up Otto, asking if he's fine taking orders from Fisk, but Otto knows that he's going to steal the mayor's seat from right under him. Steve rushes to help Iron Man, but is shocked to find that it's not really Tony, it's the Chameleon, as Ock reveals that he was going to use the Chameleon, who was posing as Tony, to take the seat of mayor from Fisk, but they dismissed him in favor of Luke Cage, so now instead of running the city, he is going to save it. He unleashes his robots onto the area as Cap calls for the Avengers to fall back. Daredevil knows that they can't let Fisk get away with it, but Miles says that they are regrouping, not running, and they'll live to fight another day. Foggy meanwhile returns to his office to find some of Fisk's men waiting for him. One of them hits him on the head, telling him that he and his lady lawyer friend are too loud and their boss doesn't like that. The man continues to beat Foggy until he is bloody, telling him that it's better off if he never talked again.